Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lady Jane Duhelio, and today me and my co-reporter will be discuss the lesson 2, teaching speaking. Johnson, 1996, to teach speaking in English entails consideration of the English speech sounds, intonation patterns, rhythm, the use of words and sentences accurately in a social setting, and the organization and expression of such thoughts. Teaching and learning speaking competence in speaking involves the following components. When it comes to speaking, there are three important components. First, knowledge of language and discourse for speaking skills and communication, and discourse strategies. The first component involves mastering the sounds, patterns, grammar, and vocabulary of the language, as well as understanding how connected speech is organized in different contexts.
Good evening, everyone. So, I will be discussing my part, which is the teaching speaking cycle, which was adopted by Go and Burns in 2012. So, teaching speaking, teacher teach the learner to produce the English speech sound and pattern. So, it also use word and sentence, stress intonation, and the rhythm of second language. So, the teaching speaking model gives attention not only to the product, but also to the process, and it's effective for shaping the learner's oral development. So it also creates opportunities for planning and preparation, as well as targeted instruction to hone the learner's strengths. Alright, so there are 7 stages in the teaching speaking cycle. First is focus learners' attention on speaking. So it talks about grace person, task, and strategic knowledge. So teacher develop learners' metacognitive awareness about learning to speak a second or foreign language via thinking about their experiences in speaking a foreign language. So it helps them to overcome their limitations, to set goals, to achieve the demands of their impending task. So it also informs their choice of suitable strategies to prevent breakdowns in interactions or strategic knowledge. Next, number 2 is the provide input or guide planning. So it is a direct formulation of adherences. So the teacher here provides input on the vocabulary and or content and guide learners in preparing for speaking. So the teacher activates their prior knowledge to recycle their existing repertoire and facilitates their assimilation of language necessary for the task. So the teacher here guides the students in brainstorming to enhance the quality of ideas. So the learners are also taught discourse organization, such as the appropriate use of signpostings, linguistic conventions to structure their articulations. Stage 3, conduct speaking task. So the purpose of this stage is to allow learners the opportunity to speak with fluency. So the learners are also given an opportunity to express themselves. So learners here are given an opportunity also to apply the lessons that they've learned from their teacher and to demonstrate it in a small group or Number 4, focus on language, discourse, skills, or strategies. So the teacher then direct learners to specific tasks that is completed. So the teacher here provides guidance and it helps the learners to increase the accuracy. So she also explicitly teaches core skills, for example, on pronunciation or interaction management. Number 6, repeating speaking task. So learners now reattempt their speaking task. So after they receive an instruction on an oral knowledge, skills, and strategies, so repetition also allow learners to benefit from cycles of improvement. So repetition does not mean rejection, but it simply means that you have to improve something. So the opportunity to reattempt aspects of their task with greater proficiency will also help them to develop their confidence. Stage 6, direct learners' reflection on speaking. So here the teacher will collect the reflection of the students based on the completed work or task. So the teacher here consolidate the existing and the knowledge, the progress that the student have throughout the cycle. So learners can be guided to identify their success. So not just only that, but the learners also will be able to recognize or to understand what their weaknesses are or the things that they have to improve. Alright, so the last stage is facilitate feedback on learning. So we believe that the students does not need compliment all the time, but they need feedback. So feedbacking will help us in many aspects. So it helps us to improve something. So it helps us to recognize our weaknesses, and it also helps us to identify our strengths. So feedback, so the teacher here responds to the reflection of the students by providing them the information, the clarification, and the suggestion. So it also invite the peer or their co-students to share their observations of their peers' performances. So that's the 7 approaches or 7 stages of the teaching speaking cycle adopted by Go and Birds in 2012. Thank you so much for listening.
I am Charity Yvonne Espinoso. I am the last reporter of this chapter. So, KAI 2006 proposed suggestions in teaching speaking that teachers might further consider. So, they are the following. So, first is provide the maximum opportunity for students to speak the target language by providing a rich environment that contains collaborative work, authentic materials, and task and share knowledge. So second, try to involve each student in every speaking activity. Third, reduce teacher speaking time in class while increasing student speaking time. Step back and observe students. 4. Indicate positive signs when commenting on a student's response. 5th, ask eliciting questions such as what do you mean, how do you reach that conclusion, in order for students to speak more. 6th, provide written feedback like your presentation was great, it was a good job, I really appreciated your efforts and preparing the materials and efficient use of your voice. So 7th, do not correct students' pronunciation mistakes very often while they are speaking. Correction should not distract the student from his or her speech. 8th, circulate around the classroom to ensure that students are on the right track and see whether they need your help while they work in groups or pairs or individual. 9th, provide the vocabulary beforehand that students need in speaking activities. 10th, diagnose problems faced by students who have difficulty in expressing themselves in the target language and provide more opportunities to practice the spoken language. So, next is examples of speaking tasks that teachers can employ in their classes. So, first is discussion. So, we have here example, mental wellness amidst the pandemic. So, you should answer that this is myth or reality. So, second, your last word is mine. Next is short speeches. Like given a time frame, students are given a topic and deliver a speech before the class. So next is guess the picture. One of the student has the picture and the partner need to guess what's in the picture by asking probing questions and clarifications. So fifth is role playing. Students pretend they are in various social contexts and have a variety of social roles. Sixth is interviews. Student interview an interesting personality and community and report to the class the result of the interview. So, seventh is narrating or telling a friend about an amusing weekend experience. Eighth is playing games that engage students and conversation, like talking each other. So, ninth is conducting class debates. So, that's all for speaking tasks that teachers can employ in their classes.